Hi Virgo, welcome to your November 2020 reading. My name is Gemstone and I'll be doing your reading this month. I'll be doing your reading. It's like you're on my page, obviously. I just feel the need. I have this formal way about me where I feel like I have to introduce things all the time. So here I go with the introduction. I hope you're doing well. How are you doing? Please, if you're feeling up to it, let me know. Let us know in the comments. Judgment. I am feeling good. I had a good breakfast. It was delicious. And I am feeling energized to do your reading. So yeah, please feel free. And the Judgment card is a calling. So maybe someone is going to feel called to say how they're doing. Oh, that makes me so excited. I hope you're doing well. Or let me say, I hope you are finding harmony in how you are at this time. How I've been structuring the readings is by pulling a card for the theme of your month. And since last month, I decided to add one more thing at the end, which is a focus. So you'll have the theme of your month. We'll go through it, understand it a little bit more. And then at the end, have a focus. Sometimes the theme is the focus. So there's that, but that is the intention. So right now I'm going to start shuffling with intention for your theme of the month. There were 2 4s that came out, but you know what? I'm not going to get into that unless it comes out again. All right, Virgo, shuffling for the theme of your month of November 2020. Although all readings are timeless, this will be dated for that time though. What do you need to know this month through me? What is Virgo's theme of the month? All messages are for Virgo's highest good. Promoting clarity and direction. What is the theme of the month for Virgo? The Devil came out. Oh, that's so interesting. Because last month you had Lovers and the Devil. And the Devil's like, hey, what about me? I guess we will see. All messages are for Virgo's highest good. What is the theme of their month? What is the theme of their month? What is the theme of the month? This month, on the 3rd, Mercury will come out of retrograde in Libra. And on the 13th, I believe, Mars will come out of retrograde in Aries. There'll also be, well, the full moon. It's so weird because I'm in October right now, so I'm trying to speak like I'm in November, even though my goal is so that you can watch this in October if you want to. That came back out. Interesting. So let me be honest. Today is October 28th, and yesterday Venus came out. Yesterday Venus moved into Libra. So beauty may be on your mind at this time. I know it's on mine. Beauty, sprucing up yourself, like internally, externally. This would be a time if you were, it wouldn't be abnormal or wouldn't be surprising if you went and got your hair done or a haircut or changed your look in some way, like changed an aspect about you physically to make you more beautiful. Mercury also moved into Libra yesterday as well in retrograde. So it moved from Scorpio to Libra, and now you might be thinking about possibly reconciling or relationships that require reconciliation. Maybe at this time you're thinking about things that you didn't say that maybe would have been helpful. So things like complimenting beautiful things. You might be thinking about things that you said that weren't true either. Also, I want to say, you might be thinking about things that you said that weren't true, maybe to appease the person that you're talking to make them feel good by overextending, Or maybe you are realizing that you didn't say things that would have been helpful in terms of having harmony in your relationships, but you might be thinking about harmony in your relationships as well. Now, what I was saying in November, on the 3rd, Mercury will be coming out of retrograde in Libra. So if you were having, or if you're currently having communication troubles or just overthinking, and that is something that a Virgo, and this is indicative of this, is something that is not surprising for a Virgo, because Virgo is an analyzer. They look for order, or the sign looks for order. Being ruled by Mercury, it makes it quite cerebral, in that you're going to be thinking about things, like thinking about things many times. I also feel like with Virgo, there's this sense of repetition in some way. So you could be just going over and over things at this time with Mercury retrograde. And then you could now, with it retrograde in Libra, you could be thinking about all the relationships, if there are many, that you could reconcile, or all the things that you did bad in a relationship that, or you not so much did bad, but weren't honest in a relationship, or all the things that you could have been more honest about if you were withholding. That is that. And then on the 13th of the month of November, Mars comes out of retrograde in Aries. So if you were feeling halted, like if you were feeling drawn back by something, that would have been the energy in the air, you may feel a release of that. You may feel able to go a little bit easier. You may feel more active, externally active now. And if you were feeling that way, and as a result feeling more inwardly active, that will cease slowly as well. All right. And then also at the end of October, on October 31st, we have a full moon in Taurus. So what you could do is look in your birth chart to see where Taurus falls on your wheel with house, and then, you know, see how that can possibly be affecting how you're feeling right now. Because when full moons are culminating, the energy is building. So you might be feeling an excess of a certain emotion, and that could be that too. All right, let's start your reading. So at the bottom of the deck, we have Knight of Swords, and your theme of the month is the 9 of Cups, 2 nines. 9 of Cups. Oh, yay. Okay, wait, before I even say yay, let's probe it some more. We have 2 nines though. So I'm feeling that there is a buildup, I want to say. A buildup, because something is ending. Something is about to end or transform. Let's say that. Something is going to transform. Well, this card represents personal satisfaction. Personal satisfaction. It can also, on the lower end, show indulgence. And then on the other end of that, it can show not giving back to yourself. As I was shuffling, look who's back. Judgment. I recorded this twice, so I'm unsure if Judgment when I was shuffling this deck came out when I said, tell, like, how you doing? And then, anyway, if that is in this video, then it's coming out twice. If it's not, don't even worry about what I'm saying right now. But as I was shuffling, the High Priestess poked her face out, as well as the 2 of Cups. And now the 4 of Wands. So I can already feel this relationship vibe, but let's just see. We are probing the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups for Virgo's November 2020 reading. What is the 9 of Cups here to show us? Temperance and Death at the bottom. What is the 9 of Cups here to show us? 9 of Cups. What is the 9 of Cups here to show us? Again, all messages are for Virgo's highest good. Promoting clarity and direction. So Virgo, what I'm going to be doing is showing you a story If it resonates, please take it. If it doesn't, don't force it. We're probing the 9 of Cups, which is the theme of your month, to see what we're meant to see. What is the 9 of Cups here to show us? The power of breakfast. Having a good breakfast, like something that is sustaining and satiating and satisfying, the 3 S's, but also satisfying is, yeah, satisfying, tasty. It makes a big difference. The 8 of Swords. So we have the 9 of Swords and the 8 of Swords. Let's see. This is making me feel uneasy. I just started sweating. Okay, so let's probe the 9, the 3 of Swords. Death. Temperance. And the Hierophant. Whew, I have anxiety. I have anxiety, Virgo. I have anxiety. Whew. Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy and Taurian energy. You know what? Let's just go through it all. Scorpio, Taurus, Sagittarius. So, personal satisfaction. I think this is what you're looking for. I don't think this is the energy that you're in. In fact, I think these are the energies that you're in. You're in... the vibe, let me describe the vibe that I have. So I feel anxious. I feel cold all of a sudden. And I feel nervous. That's it. I feel nervous. I have a nervous feeling. I feel nervous. So I don't know if you're feeling nervous, uneasy, and then trapped mentally, but trapped by yourself. We can just take a look at this card. She's loosely tied. She can get up. And in fact, everything that she needs is around her. All those swords, they're around her to help her, but she's not listening to her intuition. But the movement that's happening with the 8, because 8 is a number of movement, or is a movement is one of the movement is one of the many significations of the number 8. The movement feels like it's internal and it's in a circle. It feels like you're actually not going anywhere. And then now here with the 9, it's building. So now it's like this mentally stuck energy while feeling extremely nervous. This is where the nervousness is coming from. This is just feeling stuck. This is nervous. Like this is making me nervous. Whew. And my chest is tight all of a sudden. So something took place that requires healing, but I don't feel like the healing is understood right now. I feel like what's being felt is pain. And I say that because death is here. So this shows me that the cycle to heal is going to start soon. The regeneration of something. And I did say with the 9s that something is ending. So something is being transformed. Something is being transformed. And the transformation is right here, where it's going from sorrow to flux. So it's like sorrow to this integration period, or maybe just a transition, like this transition period to calmer waters. To calmer waters. And this could also be helpful to implement at any time for you, especially if you are feeling bouts of anxiety and mental paralysis or just overthinking. You can remember to be calm. What this person is doing is pouring water from one cup to the other, and the 2 of Cups came out too. So maybe communication is something that would be helpful for you. Maybe communication would be helpful, communicating how you feel, but understanding that also Mercury is in retrograde, so that might not come out exactly how you want it to. And during these times, to not overthink, but say what comes from your heart would be best. Anyway, there's this sense of needing to be delicate with your emotions, delicate with the communication, while it does feel needed. Approaching something, whatever this is, from your heart. It's funny. We have 2 hearts. Will I say that? 2 hearts. Approaching something from your heart will possibly ease the pain that you have in it. And then we have this, the Hierophant. What am I getting from this? It's giving me a sense of stability. It's giving me, self-righteous came to my mind. It's giving me a sense of stability. I'm seeing the spiritual aspect of the Hierophant more than I am seeing the commitment and the more binding side of it. I'm feeling more of the spiritual side. That maybe what will be calming for you at this time is for you to focus on your practice, whatever you do in the morning, night, evening, whatever you do to calm yourself, it feels like it's a spiritual thing. And that might be what will give you that personal satisfaction. But working through this is going to be, it's going to be a process. So what we're going to do is look at each one of these cards. And I want to start, this feels like the beginning. This feels like what caused this, even though it's moving in this order and I kind of said it in that order. This feels like the cause. So I want to look at the cause, and then this feels like the effect of the cause. And then this feels like the solution. These two together, this feels like the solution. Maybe the decision, and then this is actually what would be helpful. But let's look at the cause, because that's what that feels like. And we're gonna probe with this deck. Yeah, probe with this deck. You wouldn't look at what's at the bottom. The 9 of Cups. 3 times it became visible. The 9 of Cups. So personal satisfaction is really what you're focused on. You don't want to feel it. What I'm getting is you do not want to feel what you're feeling. And that can also prolong the feeling of feeling it. If you're avoiding it, if you're wishing it weren't here, then you're not taking heed of the message. The other day, I was speaking to someone and they were talking about how a situation could have been different, and you know, like there was just a lot of regret in terms of the situation that this person was talking to me about, the Sun. And through their explanation, they kind of wished that that never happened. And I then said, when we do that, we're wishing away the lesson in whatever it is that we're meant to learn. So although this might feel unpleasant to you, there's something valuable and necessary for you to know, or else you wouldn't be going through it. So if you're in a space right now where you're wishing that you weren't in this space, you could shift your focus to possibly trying to figure out what you're meant to learn. Kind of like Alice in Wonderland, where she falls into the rabbit hole and now she's just trying to get out. And then she finds the note, and the note says to whatever, she needs to fit through the door, but she's too big. If she were in a space where when she got into the rabbit hole, she was, you know, more observant, more still internally, then figuring out ways to get out may be done more creatively, and the solution would be easier to find. I say all that to say that if you're in a space right now, like I was saying, where you don't want to be, focusing on not wanting to be there is going to keep you there, but figuring out a way to get out through feeling what it is that is meant to be felt might be the most harmonious situation for you. The Fool. Yeah. If you were to approach the situation, this is the perfect card. If you were to approach the situation from a childlike perspective, open to it, just open to the situation, then you'll find your solution, because your feelings are messages, your thoughts are messages. They're messages to you. All right, let's probe. What is the Death card here to show us? What is the death card here to show us during Scorpio season? This is the Scorpio card. What is the death card here to show us, Virgo? Or for Virgos, November 2020 reading. What is the death card here to show Virgo? All messages are for Virgo's highest good. What is the death card here to show us? Why is it here? Why is the death card here? I feel like communication is stifled though. I feel like your communication is affected. With all the swords energy, I just got chills, goosebumps. I just got goosebumps. I don't know if you can see that when I said that. Okay, the 6 of Cups. Let's see. Judgment, the Ace of Wands, the Page of Swords, the Fool. And then this feels like a connection. And then beneath it is the 3 of Swords again. So you're feeling hurt in reference to a connection with someone. Anytime I see the 6 of Cups, it feels like a soulmate. A soulmate. It even feels like you're meeting yourself in a different time, but it feels like that's what it feels like. It feels like you're meeting yourself in a different time, and it could be literal, like you're meeting yourself in a different time to those who are multidimensional people, but by meeting another person. So meeting a person that you met in a previous life and then coming into contact with them, they remind you of an aspect of yourself from a different time is why I feel this soulmate energy every time I see this card. So this is making me feel like this is all to do with a connection. It's confirming that feeling I have. So here, there's this sense of transformation happening, but I'm feeling a hesitation. I'm feeling a hesitation to go with it though. I'm feeling a hesitation. And it's literally to this new start, if you look at it. To this new start. So I feel like there's this calling. You are feeling this calling, this card, if this is the video where it came out earlier. Here it is again, 3 times. This calling, and the calling is related to a fresh start somewhere. Maybe approaching something differently, but there's this fresh movement, fresh purpose. There's purpose here, but there is doubt. There's doubt. And this reading is riddled with swords energy. Swords, swords, swords. So this is the sword of doubt being held and just multiplied everywhere. And that doubt could turn to truth if you have faith in the truth. But instead it's being looked at as a doubtful space. This person is surrounded by needing to have a fresh start though. Because the Fool's here and it feels like you're almost defensive towards yourself. You're in opposition to yourself right now. Because there's this sense to have this fresh start, but something in you is afraid to do it. Interesting. 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 All right, we're going to take this party over there and we're going to probe the pain. Why is this here? The High Priestess, 5 of Wands, Page of Cups, 7 of Wands. Yep, there's that defensive energy. Okay, so here, you know what I feel? I feel like this is the person. They approached you. It feels innocent. This is why I'm saying this. And this feels so hostile. Like it feels like someone approached someone with hostility, and the person that is being approached with the hostility meant no harm. I'm feeling the vibe of this person. They were discovering aspects of themselves, and they were doing that in the presence of you, or maybe this could be you, Virgo, and then everything else is the other person. But I'm feeling like this energy met someone innocently, being themselves, and they were met with hostility. They were met with a combative, confrontational type of vibe. And this doesn't feel like words. This feels like a vibe. Goosebumps. I have more. They were met with a vibe of hostility. And I feel like the High Priestess here is you seeing this now. You seeing this wherever you are. So if you're the person that was hostile, I feel like now you're recognizing how you came off in that situation. Because there's just a lot of defense. Just a lot of defense. Defending yourself. Defending yourself. It feels like projection, projection, projection. Defending. And I feel like this, yeah, this is your awareness of it. And maybe that's what's causing the hurt in your heart, because you had a part to play in whatever took place. This card would give me the vibe of someone protecting something, but this just feels like, get out, get away, get away, get away. It just feels so egotistic. Like I'm feeling an ego right now. I'm feeling an ego right now. And it feels like, you know, those situations or those moments in the movie where it's usually the girl going to her boyfriend and she is complaining and like trying to fight him. And then like he hugs her and then she like fights and fights and fights until she starts to cry. This is the vibe that I'm feeling. It's like defense before breakdown, like defense before you get to the heart of the matter, before you get to the real heart of the matter, before the emotions come out. That's what it feels like. And this person's just like, wait, what? What's going on? What's happening? Like, what's going on? Feels so innocent. The vibe feels so innocent. They have a cup with a fish. Like, it just feels very innocent. And this person is bringing in previous situations or previous things with them. Like, this is like baggage that they're holding and it's just in their vibe. And they're just shooting it at them. This feels like projection. This feels like defense. Interesting. If you made it this far, let us know who you are in this story. Are you the innocent one? Or are you the one that I feel is the Virgo? The antagonizer. Okay, let's look at Temperance. This feels like the way to approach the situation. The Queen of Wands, the Two of Cups, there it is, the World, and the Nine of Pentacles. Nines, you got all of them. You have the Nine of Cups. You have, oh no, we don't have the Nine of Wands. You have the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Okay, so Temperance here. Yeah, I feel like you feel guilty. I feel like you feel guilty. And this is trying to soothe that. By reminding you that you're confident and that purpose, maybe you should get it. Like maybe you should focus on it. Like maybe you should grab hold of it and be confident in it. Because it doesn't feel, this feels, I don't want to say rare, but it feels uncommon. And you have something special. Whether it is something about yourself that you have come to realize, something about the world, something about a possible connection that you've come to realize, but there is a sense of holding that purpose with confidence. And I feel like there's a need to approach someone. I feel like there's a need to approach someone because you're coming from two different worlds. I feel like there's a need to approach someone. Approach the person. This feels like this person. Approach them. And talk from the heart. My goosebumps have not left. Like my body feels very tingly. There's this need to approach this person. Talk to them and end a cycle. Actually end it. Like, actually end it. And we have Scorpio here, Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo. End the cycle. And then we have the Scorpio card and the Taurus card. If you have any Scorpio or Taurus placements. But there's there's this urge to calm yourself, and the calming of yourself will be to address the situation with some delicacy, but there's a need to address it. And it will leave you feeling satisfied again. Like that satisfaction that you're looking for will give that to you. It will give that to you. Because I wonder if you're at this time, if this is affecting your ability to work as effectively as you would have had this not happen or had this not been on your mind. And while this feels like the end of a cycle, it feels like the ascension of it can bring you to a different space, like a higher space, maybe with yourself only, maybe in reference to this connection with this person. But it feels like there's this culmination and then a rise. That's what I'm feeling. And now let's look at the Taurian card. The Hierophant. What's the Hierophant here to show us? The Ace of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Emperor. The vibe that I'm feeling is value from the Taurian card. So if your daily practice, or if your practice, and when I say your practice, it could be just what you do to remain calm, what you do to remain present. Your practice, if that is something that you value, that would be something very helpful to do at this time. There's this sense that I'm getting with this and with this, that there's this need to implement. There's this need to implement what you value in your life. And I feel like it may have taken a backseat. Maybe during this stressful time, it wasn't something that you felt you should do. But I feel like that's exactly what you should do. I feel like that's exactly what you should do. Because the vibe that I'm feeling that you're in is this closed off energy. And this is where you want to get to. You're Virgo. This is the Mercury card. Getting back to your nature. The Magician. Getting back to your nature. But in order to do that, it feels there is this need for you to become aware of yourself again. I feel like your self-awareness has maybe diminished. I look at self-awareness as a spectrum, and I feel like it has maybe moved to one side where you're not as aware of yourself at this time as you may have been in the past. Or maybe this is this leveling up, that ascension feeling, leveling up in terms of your self-awareness, so that you can embody the energy that you are. Because I feel like right now you're very closed off. You're protecting yourself, or in your mind, this is protection, but what you're doing is blocking yourself. And this feels like that energy of wanting to be in the Nine of Swords. I want to be in the Nine of Cups. Like, I want to be here. I want to be here. But you're closing yourself off to receiving. So it's going to make that impossible. There's a give and take in life, reciprocity. And if you're closed off, then there's no way for you to receive. And that means that there's no way for you to give either. You're staying stagnant in the situation if you're here. So there's this need for you to focus on your values. This is the value. And the Hierophant, Taurus, is value driven, doing things for the value, for the quality of things. So I feel like there's this need to focus on your value and implement it with the Emperor. There's this need to implement that. Like, you need to create those laws for yourself, create those laws, and maybe setting boundaries for yourself as well as for those that are in your life will be helpful in terms of staying true to your values, staying true to what you build, the integrity that you build your life on, the integrity that you build your self-concept on. Because this feels like the goal here, to get to the Magician, get back to your own energy. But right now you're closed off. All right, so let's summarize this and then look at the focus. Okay. So the theme of your month is the 9 of Cups, because this is what you want. The 9 of Cups is what you want. You want something from the heart space, but you're blocking your heart and you're not putting yourself in a position to receive from the heart. And the reason for that is because you feel guilty, or you may feel guilty about a circumstance, guilty about a situation that took place between you and an innocent energy. Someone that meant you no harm. Let's put it that way. Someone that didn't mean you any harm. But because you're on the road to understanding yourself and you're kind of stuck in the ego of it all, which is not surprising in the idea that you're Virgo and you being an earth sign, the ego is very earthly. So it could be just you being in your earthly state, not realize that this person is an emotional person with the cup and the water. They're an emotional person. So their presence could have triggered something inside of you to make you feel that you have to, to make you feel inadequate, and therefore project things onto them because you don't want to face those things within yourself, as well as become defensive towards them, defensive towards their innocence. And this is your awareness of it. Now you're aware that this is what took place and this is what you did. This was the part that you played in the situation. And that is hurting you. It could be because you have this perfectionist thing, where you want to do the right thing all the time. Or the hurt could be because you realize how you hurt the other person. Now this Death card, there's the sense of a new beginning that is being presented to you and you feel called to it. It's funny how the High Priestess and Judgment were in the same place. It's like, this feels divine. Those two things, it feels divine. It feels divine. Anyway, there's a calling. And the calling is for a new beginning or a fresh start, maybe mending something, starting over. But there's this reluctance to do it. And it's doubt. And I feel like that doubt is rooted in your guilt, because you're going to have to face what it is that you feel you did. And this could be why communication is stifled. It feels stifled here. But this person is defensive because everywhere around them within themselves is saying you need to, or not so much you need to, but maybe a fresh start, like maybe a fresh start, reconciliation, or approaching this matter even within yourself, like addressing it. There it is. It's addressing it. Maybe addressing it would be better than pretending it doesn't exist. What is needed, the approach that is needed, it feels, through the Temperance card, is recognizing that, okay, yeah, that took place, but that doesn't mean that you need to not be confident in yourself. There's something that you're aware of, some form of a purpose that you can hold with confidence. And I feel like holding that with confidence will lead you to meeting this person or this connection that is what's making you feel so stuck, and bring it to an ending where things are whole and it's bright and it's light. It feels like an ascension, and then you'll get that not that new beginning, but the real satisfaction that you want. Like, you'll get that. But it feels like there needs to be a meeting between you and whatever you're avoiding. And the Hierophant here feels like shifting to your values might make this easier. Shifting to what you value might make this easier, But there is a need to have to enforce whatever that is. You're going to need to enforce it. If it is with yourself, with other people, there's a need to enforce your values, because I don't think it's being respected at this time. I don't think your boundaries are being respected by you or by someone. And here you are in this closed off energy, wanting to have personal satisfaction related to the heart, but your heart is closed off. So there's this need for you to remove all this armor that you have on you and open up and become the magician, that Mercury energy that you have inside of you. Like, allow yourself to connect with it. Because through avoiding whatever it is that you're avoiding yourself as well. All right, let's look at what is needed. So this is the focus here. Let's look at the focus of the month of November. What is the focus for Virgo this month? What is the focus for Virgo this month? What is the focus for Virgo this month? What would be a helpful focus for Virgo this month? What would be a helpful focus for Virgo this month? What would be a helpful focus for Virgo this month? Believe it or not, I still have the goosebumps. I just feel this nervous vibe, like sensitive to my environment. We have healing at the bottom of the deck. Can you see that? There it is. 30 or 29. All right. Healing says, the frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. So there's this need for openness. Not to mention, Virgo is also the sign of health. So getting into a holistic balance, maybe this is also affecting your health because it's affecting you emotionally and mentally. It wouldn't be surprising if it manifested physically as well. So if you're feeling sick or feeling like just having symptoms that are uncommon for you normally, it could be related to the stress that you're holding inside of you. And healing involves becoming aware of it so that you can heal it. So that's at the bottom of the deck. At the top, we have the Sacral Chakra, 2. 2 just makes me think of a connection, the 2 of Cups. Here we have the Sacral Chakra. The frequency of the Sacral Chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulate our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. Sacral Chakra. Earth, 24. Earth. The frequency of Earth activates our deep connection with the physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our Great Mother and healing and revealing the more ethereal spiritual aspects of our nature. This is that feeling of as above, so below, or as within, so without. Seeing the beauty in the earth will allow you to see the beauty in yourself. We have perception, 35. Perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. So this feels like facing yourself. The reason why maybe approaching that person or approaching whatever situation that has you feeling guilty is difficult is because you're having a hard time approaching yourself. I even have a hard time communicating that to you. You're having a hard time approaching yourself, seeing yourself for what you are, the good and the bad, the ugly and the beautiful, and understanding that those polarities really only exist in the third dimension. Above and beyond, it's a holistic thing. It's a circle. It's just one thing. It's not one or the other. You're both beautiful and ugly, and that then equals, they kind of cancel each other out. Your appearance is not important. Adjectives are not really that important beyond, because things are just what they are. So accepting that which is you might be very helpful at this time. And then we have compassion, 15. Compassion. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart into the world. Compassion, this could be for yourself as well as the other person or other people if this is more than one. It feels like another person though. It feels like another person. Virgo, that was your November 2020 reading. I hope this was helpful. If this was, please don't forget to give this video a like and comment if you feel called to. And if this is content that you want to see on a regular basis, please subscribe so that you see it on a regular basis. I wish you well, and I will see you in December 2020. All right, take care.